The naivety of the two-state solution and the naivety of compromise. I want to read you an excerpt from How to Win a War, a book written by Rabbi Manis Friedman and Dr. Elad Ben Elul, where they talk about this very point and how indulging in this two-state solution, all these compromises which Israel has done since her inception, actually fuels the fire. It allows the problem to fester. Quote, "There's a familiar biblical story in Kings about the wisdom of King Solomon, how he adjudicated a dispute between two women who both claimed to be the mother of the same child. Solomon ordered the baby be cut in two, with each woman to receive one half. The first woman accepted the compromise. The second, however, hoping to save the child's life, asked Solomon to give the baby to her rival. In response, King Solomon ruled in favor of the second woman. He knew she was the real mother, because the life of the baby was more important to her. Since 1917, the world has been offering a two-state solution to the Jewish and Arab populations in the region of the ancient land of Israel. The Jews have consistently accepted these proposals of dividing the land. In 1948, this resulted in the establishment of the State of Israel. The Arabs, however, have always rejected a compromise, insisting they will not settle for anything less than the entire land of what has come to be called Palestine. Yet the issue persists. Many Jewish citizens of Israel are actually still in favor of the two-state solution, while the majority of the Arabs still refuse. In light of Solomon's commanding sense of compassion, who should be considered the real owner of Israel? In our times, kindness and mercy are seen not as signs of great virtue, but as weakness. When it comes to this seemingly never-ending conflict over the Holy Land, whenever we have given away parts of Israel, it has only strengthened the enemy's stubborn claim that they are indeed the rightful and exclusive owners of the land in its entirety. The controversial Rabbi Meir Kahan once said, "I can really understand the Arabs. They want this land, and so do I." Yet he recognized that this land is ours not simply due to our own desire, but because it is unequivocally designated as such in the Torah. It is the will of God, and therefore our abiding passion, to bring God's promise into being. In its confusion about this conflict, the West can only offer shallow, childish solutions. Why can't you just share? Everyone must compromise. Each one should be satisfied with his half. These so-called answers to the impasse are based on the premise that there is no truth and no justice, just two sides arguing over nothing. How patronising. Particularly in view of the fact that we know with certainty, through hard-won experience, that a two-state solution will not make life in Israel any safer. Moreover, Muslims consider it an affront to their claim that the land is already theirs by inheritance. As such, the two-state solution has only prepared the ground for a much more horrible war. Imagine someone setting foot in the house you've built with your own two hands, saying, "Let's split this place into two homes." Would you even consider something so absurd? It's ludicrous even to speak about a peace process when the hatred and the enmity are so loud and clear. The simple fact on the ground is that granting statehood to a mortal enemy will not bring peace. Perhaps ironically, we are fortunate that it will never work, because its very impossibility will encourage us to find a real and lasting solution, one that reflects the timeless Jewish values of justice and truth. Absolutely right. And what is the truth? The truth is, number one, that the Palestinian cause was not about their belief that they are the indigenous national representation of who is associated with that land. It's because they can't have a Jewish state in what was once an Arab territory, even though it was colonized and invaded in the 7th century, and also because of the threat that it has to their whole philosophical worldview, which says that Islam is going to conquer the world. And what does it mean that the Jews who they thought were rejected suddenly return to their homeland? So the Palestinian leaders have told us, past and present, it's not about a nationalism and nation state, it's about the Jews. Meanwhile, the other part of the truth is that this land, both historically, according to international law, but primarily and most importantly, because of the word of God, belongs to the Jewish people, from the river to the sea. And so, actually, our enemies' determination not to compromise is something that we actually do need to replicate. You can't always deal with problems when you're facing enemies simply by thinking compromise will work. Sometimes compromise doesn't work when you're dealing with a hateful ideology that has a zero-sum game. So it's become clear to me and many, many people, especially in Israel, that the two-state solution is dead, and that actually what we are being called for, what we're being called to do, is to have Jewish sovereignty over all Jewish territory. What a crazy idea. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.